Hello. I am not Bill Dean. Welcome to a non-Bill Dean Hockey on Tap podcast.
My goodness gracious.
Yes, Billy Dean is he's getting the night off tonight. The backups are in. The starting goalie is getting a rest tonight, and we're filling in for him.
We even got the e-bug here.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you do.
We have a certified e-bug and shorts guy.
And we still got the music playing too.
Yeah, I still hear it. Who cares?
Can you
Leave
get
it
the
on.
whole song?
I was jamming away to it. Sam Wu is behind the scenes producing for us tonight. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for setting everything up.
Yes,
We
he
appreciate it.
Yes, always appreciated.
I don't know like all the other stuff that Dean usually says in the beginning, but should we just get
available
to our beers
everywhere?
Yeah, this podcast is streaming on all streaming services. Was it
There
YouTube,
you go.
Facebook Live, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and the rest.
Twitter, all those.
OnlyFans.
all
I
those
think it's on
places.
OnlyFans also.
OnlyFans, yeah. OnlyFans
OnlyFans-
TV.
Definitely on there.
OnlyFans TV. That's the only place you can find it on OnlyFans.
I just learned about this week.
We
huh?
do
I
show
I
feet
learned about it when you
on,
said it.
on the OnlyFans one, on the OnlyFans version. It's only feet on that, but you don't get to see us.
Only feet. Only shrimps.
Only
Oh,
feet.
God, I don't want to think about that.
All right, boys.
Not
What are we drinking?
Not talking about shrimps. Oh, I just put mine away. Oh, here we go. I don't know what this is a reference to, but I'm gonna just go with it. And my beer is Dogfish Head Midnight Cascade, which is a black
Ooh.
IPA. This is from
Ooh.
Titanic. Are
Yes.
we
sounded-
sinking already, Sam?
It sounded Titanic-y, yes.
Jeez Louise. We're already crashed into the glacier. We're going down. What is this? From the darkest depths of Milton comes this mysterious black IPA. Recreated from the vintage mid-2000s manuscripts. It's brewing with notes of dank pine. Bright. This is
Dank.
definitely going to be dank. This is going to be dank.
The dank, Mo. The dank.
What about the
Pour it.
dank?
I should pour it in a glass to show everybody what it looks like, but I'm not going to today. Because I am sitting down and I'm not getting back up.
At least for
So-
another hour.
Yes, correct.
Esteban, you and I have been to the dank depths of Milton. I believe it's
Yes.
called Irish Eyes on a Sunday night.
During a Baltimore Ravens Buffalo Bills game, was that?
hmm
Is that
Yeah.
what it was? Yeah,
It was
that
something
was
like that.
that was about as dank as it gets.
Uh-huh.
The caliber of women who must have picked up that night.
Ooh.
At least we got sound effects.
I know.
Yeah.
It's sweet. I like it.
Thanks, Sam. Shorts guy.
I am
Oh,
drinking.
that's
I'm not
blowing
even
up
going to lift it. I am drinking Mudhead Yellow Flashing Lights because I'm still trying to finish the keg so I can open up the new one. Because I'm
Nice.
definitely not going to be tapping the new one until then. So
Hey,
Yeah.
Ray Leo.
What up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
What I got brewing, Ray? I am drinking. I bought this in anticipation of having it kind of celebratory if Tampa would have won, but they didn't. A good old
So,
Festina,
oh, you got Festina.
Brett
You
Pesh.
found some.
Sure
nice.
did. I had
Yeah, they
one
sell
that
those in
day.
six
And then,
packs now, right?
yeah, I got a. It is a 6-pack, I believe.
Well,
So
now you're
cracking
celebrating
this bad boy open.
their passing in memoriam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're
It's
passing
post-mortem
on
for
Memento.
into
I
death.
like that. Goodness gracious, I'm choking on my own rage here.
Homer's not dead. He's right over there. Oh, sure he is. I can see him.
So
Uh,
the draft lottery.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I completely forgot that was tonight. By the way, when you
can
said
there
that, I
not
was
be
like,
a
"Oh,
draft
shit."
now? Is
Ugh.
not having a draft a possibility at this point?
I think I'd rather that than the Islanders win it.
I mean,
I
better
think
this
so as
one
well.
than next year's, I guess, is if that's what we want to say, right? I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad they got this year and not next year. Definitely, next
Mm.
year's stacked.
Yeah, and
That's what I was going to ask because I wasn't sure what this draft class is like because I don't pay attention to those things. So I'm kind of
It's
hoping. I
not
was
deep.
hoping it was going to be. I was hoping it wouldn't be a great one.
No, there's like 2 or 3 pretty good players, and then it's a like complete drop off.
Okay.
But having like the Islanders getting 1 and San Jose being relegated to 2, that's good for them. And then maybe who was the third pick? Chicago,
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah,
right?
Chicago.
And then Utah moved all the way up to 4. I
Utah
believe,
won the second. Yeah, that second lottery drawing.
which is
They
crazy.
moved
What
from
pick were
14 to
they? They were
4.
14th, right?
Yeah,
Damn.
14 to 4.
So 10-1 for the Islanders and 14-4 for Utah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that last ball, the last ball drawing, Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh, the Islanders. Were there 4 teams that had 18 point something % chance of winning
Really?
it? Not one of which was San Jose. So by the time that last ball was coming up, San Jose had one of the lower chances of winning, which was kind of annoying. But yeah, here we are with the Toronto scored already. Well, here we are
Already?
with
Oof, damn. I'm on a delay, I guess.
yeah. Well,
got it
I think
going
we established.
I
That
don't have
both of you were on delay.
T-Mobile anymore.
Jesus.
Wow, we're just
Jesus.
coughing and all kinds of fun today.
Yeah, this is going to be a long podcast. Billy Dean left us with a list of chores to make sure that
Yes, he
we
did.
to make sure that we discussed one of which I wasn't too fond of. The last word, Steve is in shock. I don't think I've referenced myself as Steve in a long time. So Hellebuck
Are you in shock though?
yeah, well, I mean, I said I was going to be shocked if Hellebuck was named one of the Hart Trophy finalists, and he was. So,
yes,
am
he
I
was.
shocked? This is my shocked look. I am
Shaka
shocked.
bra. I'm not.
Thank goodness. Florida is not looking too good.
They score again?
Almost.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was former New York Islander John Tavares and not somebody who could score goals.
I'm looking at the first goal now. I don't even know how that goes in.
I just found a way in, I guess.
Jesus. Well, good for them, I guess. This is the only game, right? The other game's tomorrow night?
Yeah, just one.
Yeah,
And
it's the only game.
Yeah, Dallas and the 2 games that went to Game 7, they don't play till Wednesday. Excuse me.
They're getting a little bit of a
Wednesday.
rest, I guess. But those 2 games, are we going to talk about those first, the 2 Game 7s?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well talk about these Game 7s.
Holy hell.
I think, I'll start and just say, I won't go into detail, but I think, I don't know what you guys think, that these were 2 of the best Game 7s
They're
I think I've
pretty
ever
freaking great.
seen.
I didn't watch a lot of the Colorado Dallas one. I just saw highlights and stuff in it, but that was awesome. But I watched in its entirety last night's St. Louis Winnipeg game, and that was friggin' phenomenal. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, we were on on air last night with the Big Show, and I had the game on in front of me, and Beer Baron was talking about something, and Winnipeg tied it up, and I just completely reacted to the goal and interrupted him. And then I think Sam was on a delay, so he didn't see it. So Beer Baron and I are reacting to it, and Sam was like a 30-second delay or something stupid like that. But that was such a desperation tie for that Winnipeg team last night. That was just one of those things you throw it at the net, you hope something good happens, and it did. It was fun to watch.
Awesome play by Connor. Yeah, the tip was incredible.
Yeah.
But Connor,
Both of his tips.
I don't know.
Both of
if
his
he
goals
was.
were friggin' awesome deflections.
Yeah, and I don't know if Connor was necessarily looking for Perfetti because he obviously one-timed it, and he
I think he kind of flubbed it a little bit.
spun like a top as he was doing it. So either it was a flubbed shot that was extraordinarily lucky, or he just
off
wanted
balance.
to put it. He just wanted to put it towards the mass of people in the front of the net.
Yeah, because it almost looked like it was going to go wide if it wasn't tipped.
Yeah,
It just had that trajectory, and he was so off balance when he took that shot. It's like he's lucky it went anywhere near. He's lucky he made contact, one, and then two, he's lucky it went near the net. It was that was one of those shots where you just throw it and hope. You know who would get scored on a shot like that, Steven?
short guy.
Yeah, us.
Yeah, there's like a puck-sized hole somewhere, and it's like not even like horizontal; it's vertical. So it'll somehow the puck will go up like this and find its way through a one inch that exists by the post in your leg.
I forget where I saw it, but I saw a video of the reactions from St. Louis fans at a watch party.
Yeah, I think I
And
saw
they're
it.
all
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all going nuts, and then it was just
Yep.
silence and just like
Mhm.
stunned.
Yeah, the watch parties
Disbelief.
are the ones. The watch parties are the ones that I believe. It's the ones that when you look on Twitter or something, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, watch this one St. Louis fan react
Yeah,
to."
throw something at the
Or yeah,
TV. It's like,
yeah, you get a lot of like
yeah,
mostly like football with football or whatever, where they break the TV or whatever, and then the people around them try to act shocked, like it wasn't completely staged.
yeah, or like some former football player wouldn't be some kind of rage head at the Cowboys losing for the umpteenth time. Like, come on,
Oh,
get out of
yeah.
here.
But I don't
But yeah,
know.
it was.
And that that tip, Lowry's tip, it tipped his knee, Schwim, and I believe I'm
SCA was
owed
still
something.
saying before the game, he's like, "Did he actually get that? Should that be Pionk's goal? What happened there?" And they're
Yeah,
still talking
well,
about it.
you're they're still talking about it's still Lowry, and it's going to be Lowry because the replay shows a hit off his knee, and only analysts with the credentials of Messier are the ones who are still asking that question at
I
this
need to
point.
see. I need to see this. This knee.
Oh,
This so-called
Just
knee.
watch that normal angle. Just slow it down a little bit. You see
I
it
gotta see it.
change direction once it like hits his knee.
that was the second goal.
That was an overtime winner.
That was the overtime. The
Oh, the
second
overtime. Oh, yes, yeah.
overtime
There,
winner.
it was a
Yeah.
double deflection. Yeah,
double. Yeah.
yeah, and that overtime was that overtime was fun to watch, and they were talking about it on the pregame for tonight's game. But it's true. The Jets just kind of played their way into that game. They just kept getting better and better and better
Mhm.
as that overtime went on. And you got to give credit to Binnington, though. He stood his ground the whole time, and Binnington did very well. And
did very good, yeah.
I think I'm more impressed with Hellebuck, to be honest with you, and only because he started out disastrous with two
Yeah.
goals
Pulled
on
three times.
two goals on 4 shots. You
Which
saw
is just
Arneal
on-
look at him. He was looking at him. You saw the
Yeah.
contemplation. You're down 2-0 pretty quick. 2 goals on 4 shots, and where are you headed? And they did end up scoring a third, but Hellebuck really, I mean, he buckled down and he led them to victory. I mean, granted, of course, the 2 goals, but from pulling the goalie, that's basically miracle talk. But
Mhm.
I mean, he bounced back and he was able to recollect himself, which is something that obviously he let in. Especially his away stats are crazy bad.
Horrendous.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, he got pulled in all three of those games.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the wheels didn't come completely off and that didn't turn into another blowout because, well, there wasn't
It
a
looked
blowout
like
in.
it was.
It looked
They
like
were
it was
on their
going
way.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were totally on their
Good on
way to
him.
doing that. But yeah, he got better as the game went on, and he did some in-game corrections, and then he started to play more and more aggressively too. So, and it's what you want out of your goalie to make those in-game corrections, and it's
Did you see,
showing that
Shorts
he-
Guy? Did you see
he
that
can
third
analyze
goal
his game.
that he let up?
That was the one at the end of the second that went by his glove, right?
Yeah, the guy was he like. To me, it looked like he was like way off his angle, and he was kind of like deep
His-
and down, and he looked like he was too far over. And the
Yeah,
guy was
his-
all the way to the left, and he roofed it opposite side. But I don't know if he
Yeah,
was,
his angle was
It
off,
didn't
and he
look
was definitely deep.
good.
I thought
Yeah.
I saw a stat yesterday. They had
Oh, shit.
13 goals went glove side. 13
yeah,
goals went high
like the
glove.
most
again.
goals scored in him were on to his glove hand.
Yeah. So they were shooting there, and it's just like the Canes were shooting high on Markstrom because he was getting picked up high a lot during our series. So it seemed like that they realized that they can key in on shooting high glove, and he was a little deep, but he was definitely off in that one because that third one looked awful, and it was one of those things. It's like, oh gosh, to end a period like that, that's not how you want to end a period. That's for sure. By letting in a goal like that after, kind of clawing your way back. It was 2-1. Your team's one out. You're you're playing a little bit better, and you go into the third like that. I believe there was talk before going into that intermission of, are we going to see Hellebuck lead the team out? And they stuck with him.
Yeah, I'm curious
He
now.
had to.
Going into round 2, if we're going to see a lot of the same, because
possible.
I mean, I haven't seen Hellebuck perform really well, basically at all, at any point during the course of any playoffs that I've seen him in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got over
now
this
he's going
hump.
against now he's going against a powerhouse Dallas team.
A powerhouse Dallas team with and Ottinger is
Ottinger's
it's
playing
certainly
good.
certainly not the same. Ottinger played well, right? He didn't
He played good.
he didn't win the many games, but he played well. And
Mhm.
oftentimes, wow, that really just was a seeing eye shot. Oftentimes, Colorado drastically outshot Dallas. So Ottinger did keep him in it, but I mean, as far as stealing in games, I don't think that happened. There was a time when he was stealing games in these playoffs, but Ottinger's been certainly good enough. But now you're looking at two teams going head to head with each other, both missing top offensive player, top defensive player.
Mhm.
I don't know the severity of Scheifele or Morrissey. The fact that Morrissey didn't come back isn't too promising because that's game 7. You'd think he'd do everything in his power to come back.
Yeah.
And Scheifele, you'd think he'd do anything and everything in his power to be in a game 7. So you got to think if it's at this point in the playoffs, a game 7, if your player's missing it, the injury is substantial because if it's a fracture of a bone, they're going to play. So, and of course, Robertson and Heiskanen have been out for the entirety of the playoffs. So, I'm not aware of their statuses as far as practices and stuff go on the Dallas side. Have you guys heard anything there?
Heiskanen, he's been skating.
He's
I
close.
know that.
I heard.
He's close.
I
I
heard
think he's the
close.
closest out of between him and Robertson. I haven't heard anything about Robertson. I've only heard stuff about Heiskanen. He's like day to day now instead of before. I think they were saying he was week to week. Now he's day to day, and he's been practicing with the team.
That'd be huge
I'm
for
curious.
Dallas.
Maybe he's back game 1. You never know.
Yeah, I'm curious if winning this round would be that hump that Hellebuck had to get over in order to have some playoff success. Maybe this is just what
Yeah.
he needed. It's
That's what I'm
possible. Like
thinking.
now, all of a sudden, he can have the confidence, and now he can win because the biggest thing with him was he couldn't win. And now, now it's. I don't even know if I gotta assume the expectations are still as high, but maybe at this point they finally got through round 1. Maybe now it's just the expectations are like, oh, you're just going to get as far as you get at this point. That could have been why he was just seemed to be mentally unable to get through a first round or get through a game that meant something.
Yeah. And this one, going into these, obviously you're the President's Trophy winner. You're gonna win the Vezina. You're gonna win the Vezina Trophy. You're playing. You're 1 versus 8. You're supposed to win, and you're supposed to win with relative ease. I know nothing is really easy at any point in the playoffs anymore.
No,
when it comes to the NHL, at least, because the league is so even. But yeah, I mean, if you look at somebody like now, I'm watching Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky, I don't know if you guys get because we're going back a little while now, but he was a complete train wreck in the playoffs. If you guys remember him in the first rounds,
I remember.
I mean, there was I think 2 years in a row, maybe, or 2 out of 3 years, something along those lines, where he played the Penguins and just got annihilated. And they even brought up a stat about, I guess, when Gensel scored on Bobrovsky about the amount of goals he has in the playoffs against Bobrovsky. That first series when they played Columbus, when Pittsburgh won the Cup in 2017, Gensel had I don't even know how many goals in that series. But he was a mess, a complete mess. Couldn't save anything. And then eventually he gets over, and it was when they went on their first Cup run, right? He got over that hump. And all of a sudden now he's a stellar at worst playoff performer for Florida right now. And he played extremely well against Tampa.
Yeah,
so now you're seeing the regular season Bobrovsky, carry over. And who knows, even those playoff failures that he had, maybe that affected his regular season. It kind of poured over into the regular season, why he was, so bad. We talk about the huge contract, and that could always, be weird for some players. But I don't know. I hope that we can see regular season Hellebuck in the playoffs. I do, because I really like him, and I'm not only and selfishly want to see him, perform in the Olympics as well, because I'm completely assuming he's going to go into the next Olympics being the number 1. But he does have some very close competition there. Not to go off on another subject.
Did you see the penalty call that they just called for against Toronto to give Florida a power play? everyone everyone there is baffled. They called cross checking, and I don't get it at all. At no point does he cross check him. He goes to like hit him. They like bump shoulders, and like Marchand steps out of the way, and they call Doby for cross checking.
Is this,
What's his
is
face?
this the
Rubio's losing
NHL
his
or
mind.
inline Morristown?
That's a tough one. Could be either. Could be either.
I don't know what kind of call that was. That was everybody's baffled right now.
And going back to not to spend, although I mean the West, I think you guys probably agree with me at least that the West has the most exciting series in my opinion. And just to close off on the Jets Dallas series, Rantanen he's leading the playoffs in points, right? And looks dominant. So all of that fear about, he leaves Colorado and was he a product of whoever on Colorado, didn't do well in Carolina, didn't start doing that great with Dallas in the regular season, and then closes off this first round and really obviously led them basically almost single-handedly to come back and beat Colorado in that game 7. But yeah, look out for Rantanen now. I mean, if he's rolling as well as those other guys,
and they can get healthy.
And I had I picked
It could be
Dallas
a
at
tough
the
one.
beginning of the year every
It
year.
could be spooky.
But what about this Vegas Edmonton series?
I don't think anyone really cares about it, to be honest.
I mean, there's McDavid is involved, so yeah, there's
People
definitely a lot of
care
care.
because of that.
I kind of don't care. I want to watch this series a little bit, and I absolutely want to watch the Dallas Winnipeg series. The other two,
there's one.
I'm not really crazy
the
about.
Caps Canes is it's like Ovechkin's there. He's always going to draw attention, but I don't know. Everybody thinks before we go, we can go over to the East in a second, but I feel like I don't know. I'm going to choose Vegas again. I don't particularly want Edmonton to win, and now they're rolling Calvin Pickard. Good for him, but this is the same story that they have a goalie going into the playoffs. He gets annihilated, and then they go to the backup, and all of a sudden the backup is their savior.
And then he'll get annihilated, and they'll go back to the original.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Rinse and repeat. I can see at some point them going back to Skinner in this series.
Yep.
I like Vegas in the series. They're entirely too stacked, and they should beat them. But of course, you have Draisaitl and McDavid on the other side, so you can't ever rule them out. But I like Vegas, and I think Vegas should take this no more than 6. But we'll see. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I mean, we've said this before. This is what happens when you spend all your money on your top forwards and you don't have room for a goaltender to at least pay a good one.
Yeah.
They don't. That's going to be their Achilles heel.
At least they have a little more forward depth now, which was something they also ignored. Ignoring forward depth, ignoring defense, and I have absolutely ignoring their goaltending.
Imagine if they could afford a good goalie along with this team. Like, they'd be probably unstoppable, but they can't. Because
you should usually build from the back out. They're doing an ass backwards way. They're trying to do. Yeah, I
mean, it's
forwards back. I don't know. Eventually, I think
you do actually. Now that I'm thinking about with a lot of these teams. Now that you mentioned that, Shroom, I feel like the goalies were there first, right? And then or a defenseman was there, and then the goalie, or a goalie and then the defenseman, and then they get whoever their superstar.
And then they load up on their
forward is
on their offense. Yeah.
Yeah, because Tampa's like that. Pittsburgh was like that. I don't know about the Rangers, but I think maybe they can be if they do that hard reset, but they're not going to.
Yeah.
No.
Especially now that
this summer.
Now that Sullivan's there. There's no way Sullivan. There is absolutely no way Sullivan signed a contract with that team. I don't even know what his extension was because he still has 2 years left on his other contract. But anyway, I don't know what the conversation was, but there's no way that Sullivan agreed to go to that team thinking that they're going to do some sort of fire sale and be like, we're going to try to
There's no way.
acquire younger guys and good luck making the playoffs. Sullivan, he joined that team thinking that this is my best chance of making the playoffs, getting back in the playoffs, because he wants to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're gonna ride. I mean, maybe they get rid of a guy, maybe two, but I still think you're gonna see Zibanejad's gonna stay, Panarin's gonna stay, their defense is gonna stay, but who knows? We'll talk about it more in the offseason, but
I could see them doing a lot of moves and trying to, like, in their eyes, fix their problems, and by bringing in God knows who, and then
like
it's either
player
gonna
for
be-
player stuff, like
like-
bad contract for bad contract type deals, because
Yeah,
you
like
can't
I
just
think they're gonna
get
make.
rid of these
I
guys.
think they're gonna try to switch it up as much as they can, like make a bunch of moves that they see, as though good players or good fits, and it's either gonna work well for them. Usually, when the Rangers get a new coach, that first year goes very well for them.
That's a lot of teams, though. But
I know.
Rangers,
So they're getting that new
specifically,
coach thing. So I think they'll be good, or it's going to be a friggin' train wreck of a season again with all the if they go a bunch of new and do a bunch of moves and go in a new direction, acquire different players and get different people in there. But I don't know. Their off season is going to be really interesting to see what the hell Drury
Sullivan
does.
needs the right cast for his system. His system is, and I've said it before, it's a complicated system, and
Mhm.
not everybody can do it well. Some players do it very poorly. So if he's coming in to implement a system that none of these players have, and primarily it's the D. Can the D handle it? Because it's a lot of pinching and a lot of pinching, a lot of pinching. They already give up, odd man rushes and breakaways. So, and this is, you watch Pittsburgh games. I think the Rangers D core is better than the Penguins. But that being said, you're going to change the structure of the D core, which is going to potentially allow a lot of opportunities the other way. So I don't know. So, but like I said, I can see them. I obviously get rid of some guys, but all that wish list that Dean has about this person needs to go and this person needs to go. I can't see that happening just because there's no way Drury, signed Sullivan, almost guaranteeing we're going to make the playoffs this year. And this last year was a fluke, and it was because maybe we had poor coaching, or maybe a guy or two needs to go. But I don't think they're going to be able to move some of these guys and get straight player for player deals. You can get maybe some prospects, obviously some picks, maybe some younger guys, some like depth type younger guys, but you're not going to match that like talent. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's no way he signed up for a rebuild, so it has to be
No, because Pittsburgh is like
something-
there was
they got to
part
do
of the
something
discussion.
substantial. There's no way.
Part of the
Yeah.
discussion in what people think about the Dubas and Sullivan had this agreement, and there's thoughts that Dubas thinks that the Penguins are closer to being a playoff team than Sullivan does, and the mutual parting of ways happened in such a way where Sullivan didn't agree that this team, as is, or what Dubas is doing, is going to get him a strong enough team to make the playoffs, and the Rangers are the team that's going to do that for Sullivan. So that's part of what we hear from inside
Mhm.
sources about how this whole discussion went down. The mutual parting of ways, which essentially just means the coach was fired. But I'm sure there was some sort of agreement based on just, I think it was 10 days prior to the termination or parting of ways. They were both on board. Both, they both spoke to the media, and both were completely all on board with what was happening with the team. And then 10 days later it ends. So who knows? I don't know how coach discussions go, if there's quote unquote tampering that happens, if the Rangers were talking to Sullivan prior, but at least that's
I'm interested to see who's going to be on his coaching staff with him.
Yep,
He's going to bring anybody with him. Oh, Steven, spoiler
yeah,
alert.
because some of his coaching staff in Pittsburgh are up for new contracts, so they're almost certainly not being brought back. But of course, there's still the rumor that Tortorella is somebody.
Yeah,
I
so
thought he
that's
came
still a
out and
rumor
said
right now.
that he's not. He's not going to.
He said he's not.
I thought that. I thought that's what I heard. That he. There's the goal. How late was
Yep.
that? How much later was that?
That was at least a minute for me.
round.
Jesus.
But I heard
just
it.
got it now.
I got the TV on in the other room, and I can hear the volume in the background, and I can't. And it's way behind, so I heard it in my house before it actually
I
happened.
think
in front
Steven's
of
in
me.
another time zone. That's why he's getting it
I
early.
think so too.
But
Is,
also, okay,
who's
so
doing this
so
game?
changing.
I'm not listening. Is it McDonough
I don't know.
and Ray Ferraro?
I can't. I have it on mute.
Yeah,
No, I didn't
I'm
pay
not-
attention.
I don't want to hear it,
Couldn't tell you.
just in case it is them.
I like Bob Wischusen. I thought that was Brendan Burke the entire
don't mind
time,
him.
but I like him. I think he's got a good
He actually
good
shows
good
emotion.
enthusiasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
His partner not so much, but he's he's pretty great.
Hmm.
Okay, so now going off topic of the Rangers because I don't want to spend any more time talking about them. We'll go to this series, right? So speaking of humps, right? Are Jets over that hump? Is Toronto legit now? Like a legit contender? And you
I mean,
always want to say
they're
that they
looking pretty
are just based on the fact that they always finish. They have the star power. They
Mhm.
always finish tops in the league. So in theory, they should be considered a contender just based on all that. But we all know Toronto just does Toronto things. But are we past that? And is Stolarz that guy that can help them through this?
He's a fellow New Jerseyan. I think he's playing
Yes.
really, really well for them. So I think if he continues to play the way he's playing, that's a huge advantage for them. I don't know. I'm still not sold on them just because of their history.
Yeah.
I don't. When's the last time they got? I know first rounds have been a struggle for them, but when's the last conference final they made? I couldn't even
it's
tell you
been-
that.
Was it when they were who they
Jeez.
lose to the early 2000s? Was it
It was a long
2001
then?
time ago.
and 2ish with Darcy Tucker? Was that the last time?
Good old
Who did they
Darcy
lose
Tucker.
to? The Devils? They lost to the Devils? Was that when it
Did they?
was?
Oh, might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
What was that? Like
I can't remember.
2004? Or no, not 2004.
2003 maybe?
Something the year before. Yeah,
It's
maybe.
either,
Could have been.
it was either 2003 or 2001.
Oh yeah,
right?
that might have been 2000. I'm gonna look it up now. That's when we limited them to like 1 or 2 shots in a period. I'm looking it up now. That could be the last time that they got anywhere near close to anything. And
Yeah,
I'm looking it up now.
I don't remember them ever
New
sniffing a
Jersey.
conference
No, we
final.
played Ottawa in 03. Maybe it was 2000.
Or was it the year that you guys lost to Colorado?
I'm
That
looking
was-
it up now.
That was 2000,
No, then-
wasn't it?
No, so yeah, maybe it was 1990. I'm really.
Looking for Devils history here. Is Ray Leo still here? Are you still with us,
Max
Ray
would
Leo?
probably know. Oh, Toronto, ready? So Toronto was in the conference finals against Buffalo in '99.
Okay.
Okay. Was that the last
That had,
one?
to have been another, that had to have been another time
I
after
don't know.
that. I swear it was against the Devils.
Oh no, 2002
2002.
against Carolina.
Oh.
And Carolina beat them.
Yeah, so
That
it's
was the
been a
last
while.
time?
That was the last time they were over. What was that 23 years ago?
What was that series? It's been a while for them, so it's.
So
But part of me would like to see them not win the cup, only because we'll never hear the end of it if they do.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that. Can this roster? Okay, just so we're ignoring Toronto history completely.
Mhm.
Is this team? Can this
I
team
still-
beat
I don't think they could beat a West team. With this
Dallas?
roster.
Can they beat Dallas?
Yeah, I don't
Or
think
I'm gonna
so.
say Dallas.
They don't have the
Vegas.
goaltending. They don't have the
I like
goaltending.
I like Dallas, Winnipeg, Vegas more than I like.
Winnipeg
either
is
of these
stacked
teams.
too. Okay, so forget about Winnipeg's history too, based on rosters and depth and
All three of those
goaltending
teams,
and everything.
I think, are better than them.
Can Toronto be? Yeah, or even I think Toronto can. They can come out of the East.
Yeah,
Certainly.
I could see that at
They
least.
can come out of the East, yeah, but can they beat the likes of a Dallas or a Winnipeg? I don't know. I think
Or
there's
Vegas.
I
the
wouldn't-
goaltending is
Vegas.
the goaltending is
I
too
think-
good.
All those teams are
Well,
so.
Vegas
All three of those
even
teams,
Aiden-
Dallas, Vegas, and Winnipeg, are so friggin' deep. It's disgusting.
Mhm.
deep and
They're
big.
three
and
disgusting
physical.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you mentioned when we were out there in Vegas. It's like they had no players below 6'1" or 6'2".
Oh yeah, their defense. Their defense. We're all like 6'3" and 200 or more. It's like, gee, and even their seventh
Bigger than
guy,
you and I.
even their seventh guy. Yeah, I don't know. Are they bigger than me? I don't know. I know that's a difficult thing.
You got to go back to back to
Ah.
make sure.
But even
Yeah.
Aiden Hill is more established than Stolars is, and Stolars is playing well.
He's playing well.
Toronto, but Toronto again, they're another team that has put all their money in their forwards, and they've just recently been adding to their defensive core, and they've gone through how many goaltenders in the last couple of years. And finally they've got Stolars that's playing well.
And Stolars wasn't
but
even supposed to
even-
be the guy this season. It was supposed
no,
to be
it was supposed to be Wall.
Wall. Yeah.
He took
Yeah,
over.
and
Ran
no,
with it.
but it was both supposed to be Matt Murray, wasn't it?
Well,
then
a couple
he
years
wound up
ago,
getting
not
hurt.
this year.
Not this year.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously not this year, but
Actually,
you
I
know.
don't even know if they brought him in to be the. Was it him and sheesh, why can't I think of his name? He's in Vegas now. Samsonov.
Samsonov, yeah. They've gone through goaltenders, and then Stolars is only making $2.5 million, so like he's a steal right now. But he's also 31. I'm looking at. I didn't realize he was that old. So it's like he's been around.
I thought he was older, to be honest.
I thought he was younger. I thought he was in his 20s. I thought he was in his late 20s.
I thought he was younger too. I didn't realize he was 31. But again, he's a $2.5 million goaltender, which I mean is more than I'm ever going to make. But when you have all your forwards making, your top 4 forwards are making, quick math here, 10, 20, 30, 40, over $45 million.
Yeah.
In total between those 4 players.
And if you're potentially losing 2 this offseason, this has got to be
Mm-hmm.
this has got to be it, right? It's this or bust.
I got it.
Yeah, it's got to be it. Mitch Marner or John Tavares, they're the 2 UFAs out of those core 4.
Tavares is definitely gone. Mitch Marner is probably gone, but Tavares is definitely gone.
I think they're going to try to sign Mitch, but I think Mitch is going to want to take the paycheck and just settle and go somewhere else, but get paid a shit ton more than what Toronto could pay him.
Do you think he's going to?
Imagine they keep Tavares and not Marner.
Well, I mean,
how hilarious would that be?
I guess if they can't keep Marner, maybe they would try to keep Tavares on a shorter term deal, just for center depth, right? I mean, you're losing your number one set. Is he your number one? Oh, there we go, 2-1.
Let's see.
There's a lot of hockey left.
All right.
Toronto's been dominating, but there's a lot of hockey left. So
there's a lot of hocky left. I think this is the goal coming
Still
up for
waiting.
me here now. Yeah, still waiting for me, Schwim.
this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Still waiting.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Still going.
Wow.
Did you get it already? I'm still.
No,
Guys are.
I'm still waiting.
I
Still
should set a timer.
dicking around with the puck.
Next goal, I'm going to set a
There
timer.
it is. Now I got it. Just got it.
And there you go. I had it right behind you. High over the blocker side, it looked like to me.
Seth Jones.
So, and
Yeah.
also,
Did you?
there we
By the
go.
way,
Good
not
check.
to get off topic here, but that
What else
goal
is
that
new?
Seth
That's
Jones
off
scored.
topic.
You
I
wanted to
guess
get off
rough
topic.
rolling
What are you
off.
saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Continue.
Well, I just saw Seth Jones score, and it made me think of the
Yeah.
goal that he scored in game 5. That they had 2 goals in 11 seconds.
Here we go.
That-
There's a Tampa reference.
It went through
3-1.
fucking.
I can set
It
the timer.
deflected off of
Wow.
somebody
Damn
and then
it.
went through McDonough's skate, the blade and the boot. It went through that little hole in between the
Yeah.
blade and the boot, and then deflected
The only-
into the friggin' net. I'm like, you gotta be friggin' kidding me! That was the game winner.
Yeah, that
The
was
only team that would have something like that score on
It's
them,
Tampa and Bone Storm.
Tampa and Bone Storm / Toothless, because it's all the same team.
You guys got to let me know when you get the goal.
Got it. Just got it.
Got it.
All right.
Yep.
You are a minute behind.
Jesus.
A full minute.
Wow.
I don't even know where the hell's my remote.
Wow. 3-1. Have you seen the remote?
So,
So I don't know. I don't find too much interesting because I don't even know
I
if
don't
we
know where I
want
put
to
it.
delve into the Caps Canes series.
No one cares
I'm
about
not
that one. Not even
that
Caps and Canes.
like
No.
I don't see either team as I don't think either team is a contender. Even though Washington is number one in the East, I don't think either team is a contender. I don't think there's any bad blood or rivalry there. So but then again, I didn't think Montreal and Washington. That series was more interesting than um, it led on to be those 5 games. But I picked the Canes, but I don't know who the heck's going to come out of that series. It just seems like a lot of I don't know, just mediocre. And they're not mediocre; they're all good. I mean, everybody's had great seasons. They got some star players, but it just seems like I don't know, they're just boring.
Watch like out of nowhere that series will be
Roby.
friggin' crazy or something. Something will happen and it'll be a crazy series. And then we're like, ah shit, now we gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Ovechkin
I mean, the
scores
big
like 6 goals in game one or some shit, and we're like, oh god.
Carolina. I don't know the status on Freddie Anderson. Carolina needs
I haven't heard anything.
him.
He signed a contract.
An
Well,
extension.
I'm assuming I don't know. I'm assuming he's okay. He's signing new deals.
He just signed a new deal while he's
Yeah.
injured.
While
Yeah.
the series ended, right after the series ended, and while they were waiting to get started in the second round, he signed an extension.
All right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they've had a good amount of time off, so
Yeah.
maybe he's good to go. They do need him because Kochetkov isn't. He's not the answer.
Nah, he
No,
can't be
but he's serviceable until he comes back.
he's good, but I don't think he's like your everyday starter.
He's not going to lead him. And Logan Thompson, right, was also hurt. Is he?
He
we know
came
his
back.
status?
I didn't know he was hurt.
He did come
Yeah,
back.
he
okay.
got. Remember that game? They both got hurt. Both starting goalies got hurt. Thompson and
Oh, that's right. So were there
Montembeault.
2 e-bugs on the bench, or is
There
there
was
still only one
remember,
e-bug?
I think
or-
I was telling you about the Montreal e-bug, or was I telling you, Steven? He
Yeah,
was like
the-
a
I think you weren't
59-year-old
telling me.
beer league goalie, and he was absolutely enormous. It was
Why don't
hilarious
I
to
get
see.
these opportunities? I
That's
need
what I
these
said.
opportunities. Holy
'Cause
crap!
you have to work at one of the rinks. It's really the only
I
way.
know. I really need to do that. I really
Gotta
need
get
to
over
do
there.
that because I really want the opportunity.
Imagine you're just sitting on the bench. You're not going to get in, but you're in like the
There
team
is-
jersey. You got your own number.
There is
and everything.
absolutely no way that I actually I think it's probably easier for you to get drafted in next year's NHL entry draft than it is for you to become an e-bug because that has to be so political because it's just
I'm sure.
literally just whoever the dude is and it's his until he doesn't want it and who's
Yeah.
who's going to relinquish that. So I think
Yeah.
I think there's probably a better chance you get drafted by a team than you end up somebody's e-bug, unless you, I don't know, unless you
I think
somehow
you
yeah,
could
go
be
to
the
no
a-
Devil's e-bug.
No one's drafting a 42-year-old rookie, but hey, if there was any chance for me to be the e-bug, I would absolutely do it. I think that would be
Isn't
fantastic.
the
You just
Devil's
have to,
e-bug? Isn't the Devil's e-bug from Philly?
I don't even know who the Devil's e-bug is.
I don't even know how you would find
Um,
out.
We
I'm-
need to
I
find
mean,
out who
I-
he is, and I'll be a mass stranger and come out of the bathroom and
Oh, the Penguins had an e-bug, I think, this season. I don't
Hit him
remember
in
who
the
he
knee.
was, but
It'd be like a Tanya Harding incident all over again.
is there a goalie in the building?
I mean, I would love it. I think it would be so much fun just, having to be there, just dragging your gear in the, into the arena and you get a decent seat to watch the game. And if you got to get dressed, you got to get dressed.
I wonder what
Yeah,
number
I
they
think it
would
would-
give you.
It's something absurd, like 90 something probably, or whatever
Probably.
it is. I'm
cool,
curious if you wind up having to dress, if they allow you to keep that jersey or not. That's what I would be curious about.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably, right?
I would think so.
You
Right?
would
I
They
don't
put,
think
your name on it, right? Don't they put your
Yeah,
name
they
on it?
make a.
some do, some
I'd put-
don't. I don't know if they all do. So it
pretty sure they do.
depends. It would be wild though to be in that position. I would love it.
Bob
Oh,
is really-
Max is. I think Max just threw it into YouTube chat. Yeah, I guess that's our e-bug. This guy named Kyle. Should be short for that.
Kyle.
Of course. There's a Devils goalie is Kyle.
Yeah.
Because why not?
You'd think after my performance on the ice there a couple weeks ago, they would have called me, but
Ooh,
obviously not. Obviously not.
one of
Oof.
these days, maybe you'll get the call.
I know, right? One of these days, it's gonna happen. It's
So
gotta
who's
happen.
who's the Eastern Conference matchup and who's the Western Conference matchup?
You're talking finals?
Just the Eastern Conference Finals, yeah. Who's going to be in the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals?
I'm gonna go
You don't
Panthers,
have to say
Caps,
games.
Oilers,
Yeah.
Oilers, Jets. Panthers, Caps, Oilers, Jets.
Wow. I
Nice.
think. Did you pick? No. You picked
Ooh.
almost the opposite of all of mine.
There you go.
I got Vegas, Dallas, Canes, and Panthers.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I have the same as Shorts guy, except not Edmonton. I have Vegas. So Vegas Jets and Caps and Florida.
Who do we have a Conn Smythe favorite at this point? Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, I guess since he's leading the league right now, right?
Yeah, I mean he's also played 7 games. Some guys have only
Yeah.
played 5, so
hmm Yeah, I guess
Who else?
Rantanen would be the top
I don't even know
one.
who the other top scorers are. You know who's doing, or well, was, but now that they lost,
McDavid's one of them. McDavid's there. And
friggin' Cam
Draisaitl.
Fowler had an unbelievable
Yeah.
series. He had like 10 points
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I was like, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Rantanen, there's no one else that I can think of that would be head and shoulders above the rest.
Kyle Connor is actually tied with Mikko Rantanen right now in points with 12.
Oh, there you go.
Nathan
He's been
McKinnon,
really, really good. Like under the radar.
Adrian
Like really, really
Kempe
good.
had a great series. He's out. McDavid
like,
is sitting at
fluid.
11. So McDavid has 11. Rantanen and Connor are both in it. Still, they have 12. McKinnon leads in goals with 7. He's out. Rantanen has 5. Kaprizov has 5. He's out. Boldy 5. He's out. Svechnikov 5. He's still going. So
Oh, that's
I think
surprising.
if the Blues would have won, I would have said Bennington would have been up there.
you got to think for Binnington.
I like him.
Fan.
When he's on, he's on. Man, when he's on, dude. He's one of those clutch goalies. I think he could be very good in the Olympic tournament for Canada next this coming year. So
Who's playing in the
you know,
tournament now? Who are their goalies? I saw that Fleury went there. Who are the other goalies?
Fleury went there. I don't know.
Team USA is very young, but also looks quite good.
I haven't seen any of the rosters yet. I don't even know where this is streaming or where I can watch it. 'Cause I'd like to watch
I
it.
know
Awesome
at least Joey Decord is there, so we don't have to worry about
Mm-hmm.
Casey DeSmith being the number 1 goalie for Team USA. It does seem like the teams. I don't know if it was the 4 nations or what, but it does seem like more players are going. I think Markstrom's going, right?
Yep,
I think
I saw that. I want to watch. I want to watch him.
Yeah, Crosby, McKinnon, and Fleury at least on Canada.
It's in Sweden.
Um,
How can I watch this?
and I know Decord is there. Celebrini, I think, is there. He's American, right? Yeah, I think he's
American
there
or
for them.
Canadian? He's American.
He's an American kid, but I think Canadian family.
I
Because
thought I saw his
parents,
name there.
I know he played college hockey, but I thought he was actually like Canadian.
Maybe
He
he
would
is
play for like
Canadian.
Team Canada.
Yeah, maybe he is Canadian. Maybe he's from Vancouver area. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I saw USA has they had Clayton Keller,
2025
they have
World
H. Thompson.
that's World Junior Championship. Oh, yeah.
So-
They have Keller,
Celebrini.
Thompson, they have Werenski.
Yeah,
here
he's
we go.
Vancouver. He's Canadian.
Canadian.
Celebrini's
that's what I
Canadian.
thought.
But his so where I got confused, I think his dad works for the Golden State Warriors. So he grew up in and around like the San Jose area.
Yeah.
And
All right,
that's
so I'll
why
give you a rundown if you want. Team Canada so far, right? Sanheim, Dobson. This is where I saw Celebrini. This is Team Canada. Sanheim, Dobson, Celebrini, Konechny, Horvat, Fantilli, Barrett Hayton, Nathan McKinnon, Dylan Garand, Riker Evans, Will Cooley, Mackenzie Weegar, Brendan Montour, Tyson Forster, Sidney Crosby, Ryan O'Reilly, Kent Johnson, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury is there.
Is he the only goalie?
Find USA goalies. Yeah, they don't have any goalies listed here. So far it's just Fleury, I guess. And then I saw Swayman and Decord. Both are there. Jackson Lacombe, Mason Lohrei, Michael Kesselring, Clayton Keller, Matty Beniers, Drew O'Connor. I thought that was weird. Anyway, Cutter Gauthier, Andrew Peak, Isaac Howard, Hampton Slukinski. I don't know who the hell that is. That's their third goalie.
Okay.
Joey Decord.
Should be me. I'm available.
Will
If he
Smith,
gets hurt,
Cole
guy.
Hudson.
I know.
He is. Oh, he's the goalie for Western Michigan. Is he? I guess he's not.
Hmm.
I guess he
They
hasn't
just
been
won.
drafted yet.
I think Western Michigan,
Yeah.
Michigan just won.
Yeah, they won it.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah,
won
why
the-
not?
the place.
Where was I? Cole Hudson, Michael McCarron, Tage Thompson, Alex Vlasic, Brady Shea, Josh Doan, Connor Garland, Frank Nazar, and Logan Cooley.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not
Lot
bad.
of- lot of young guns in there. I like it.
Yeah. Sweden has some guys named here: Rasmus Anderson, Tom Olinder, Adam Larson, Gabriel Carlson, Alexander Wenberg, Max Freeberg, Marcus Sorensen, Andre Pedersen. I don't know who that is. He plays for Sweden. Christopher N. Marcus Pedersen, Oscar Lindberg,
Just EN.
William Eklund, Anton Beng. Yeah. No, EHN.
Oh. Okay.
Anton Bengstrom, Oscar Steen, Samuel Erison, Isaac Lundestrom, Arvid Soderblom, Felix Nilsson. Yeah, it looks like Markstrom doesn't have much competition there.
No.
Leo Carlson, Mika Zibanejad. Yeah, so there's some star power there. So maybe it'll be interesting. I like Team USA looks pretty decent. Canada looks also quite good. Does Canada have any undrafted players playing for them? No. Or currently it's just
It's all
drafted.
NHLers.
USA has some undrafted. Well, I mean, they still count Isaac Howard, but I guess because he's not signed to a team, right? Is that the case?
No. Well, I mean, he's still part of Tampa, but yeah, just not signed. They're going to trade his ass. I don't think he's going to walk. I think somebody's going to want him badly, and Tampa will be able to trade him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, we're waiting for Sam to hit the music, so now we're just in a lull
We are.
here.
Hit that button.
I think
Where's my
I think
burrito?
we need to travel. I think we need to travel to Sweden to watch some hockey games this coming year.
Yeah.
Because they look like a good
Sweden.
time.
Sweden just looks like a good time. Oh, there it is.
Hey!
Rate your beer.
Oh,
Mine was
there it is.
rough. I'll give it a 3.5.
Whoa.
I'm still struggling.
Wow.
Love Dogfish.
Struggle away, my friend.
Just not a fan of the
Uh,
style.
4.0.
It seems
I
a
give
5.
mine whatever.
It's a 5.
I get 4.5.
It's pretty
5,
damn
whatever I
good.
give.
You're right.
Yeah, no question.
It's
That's-
So before Shrimp
Swimming
takes it
in-
away, just Dean and the Dean family, we love you guys
Yes.
throughout
Thinking about
everything,
you.
and thinking about you guys, and yeah, all love to you. And Shrimp, take her home.
Love you. Mwah!
Oh,
And
that's-
star wipe and fade.
Aww.